I'm very pleased to be here, and I thank Alzheimer Europe organizers to invite me on behalf of the EFID Foundation group I will speak about. Thank you. In 2010, a group of European foundations have agreed to join to fight against dementia and to work towards changing the perception of dementia. To fight against stigmatization, To achieve their goals, they created the European Foundation Initiative on Dementia, EFID, which is coordinated by NEF, the Network European Foundations. EFID has taken up two areas of activities. The first one is communicating differently about dementia. In 2012, EFID published a leaflet drawing on research by Leuven University for one of the EFID members, the King Baudouin Foundation, on framing and reframing dementia. The leaflet provides new perspectives and proposes a shift of mindset based on three main principles: respect, nuance, and knowledge. The leaflet provides new perspective. The second area focuses on the social inclusion of people with dementia, under which EFID has rewarded 20 European projects. Currently, we are commissioning a scoping study of concept and practice on dementia-friendly communities in Europe. But our main activity has been our award, and it is these that I'm going to focus on today. As you can see, thanks to two editions of the awards Living Well with Dementia in the Community, EFID has succeeded by awarding 20 projects in 11 different European countries. Why 6 foundations have engaged in this European initiative? In the last few decades, people with dementia have been seen from the perspective that reduces their identity to symptoms, locking them into an invisible prison. So everything then is organized around the consequences of the disease, and finally, the disease has the power, not the person. A highly medicalized approach was predominant. What I call the medical model on Alzheimer's was the exclusive way to look at it, and this may explain the focus on disability and incompetence, leading to the negative view on dementia and bringing so much stigma. I do remember Peter Ashley's plea for a shift of attitude of the carers from wardens to partners. It was in 2002 in the Alzheimer Europe Conference in Maastricht. He also made an impassioned call for the need of Alzheimer's Association to give a voice to people with dementia. The negative attitude of the rest of the society became two parts of their problem. An urgent need has appeared to meet the social impact dementia has on the relationship, quality of life, and community engagement of people living with the disease. Gradually, a positive and dynamic model has been emerging in the last several years to counteract the effect of this medical model. I mentioned then the life model, which has proved that another approach is possible, giving to people with Alzheimer's the means to remain in charge of their own life. Their voice is now better listened. This 2014 Alzheimer Europe Conference makes us to see the huge progress which has been done since there, but we still have so much to do. Right, participation, social inclusion, and empowerment are at the heart of this approach. The EFID action falls into this new paradigm on promoting social inclusion and empowerment. Before presenting some of our, sorry, one trick is missing. Before presenting some of our projects, I want to highlight one main change on the run from the run 1 to the run 2 in 2014 for the jury. This year, the voice of people with dementia has been engaged in the selection process thanks to an appropriate methodology. I go back because it's not the way. This methodology is run in UK. I will not present it in detail, but just to say that the EFID jury was informed by the feedback of people with dementia on the proposals, though through a focus group of 10 persons. So, an adapted summary of the shortlisted application were presented to the group and discussed with the help of a facilitator. A report, including direct cost, was realized and sent to the jury member. Thanks to this approach, comments and judgment of people with dementia about the proposals were really taken into account during the jury deliberation. This new step involving people with dementia in the jury process is very important for EFID because we found the way to be consistent with the values we are proud of. Let's follow with the type of action implemented by the 2012 and 14 awardees. We can classify them in 3 groups. The first one consists in integrating services and opening them to the society. We find, for instance, educational programs, support not only for staff and relatives, but also for civil society or inhabitants. One of the issues is to create connections with the community, as you mentioned for your 8 pillars. The first example is from here, from Scotland, from the Alzheimer Scotland Society in the North Lanarkshire, and it's called Dementia is Everyone's Business. I'm sorry, I don't have the dia. Shop, businesses, and organizations are committed to learn about dementia and to do simple, practical things that make an enormous difference to people with dementia, so as to help them to remain part of their community. The project opens not just doors, but minds and hearts. The second project comes from France. It is in Rennes, and it's called Bistro Mémoire. The first French Bistro Mémoire was created in Rennes in 2004 after a visit of the Dutch Alzheimer Café, and thanks to a strong partnership. The Bistro Mémoire offers a normal meeting place in the city for persons with dementia and their carers to share feelings, experience, and developing social contacts. In addition, they organize small groups for leisure, outing, and weekends. A national network of 24 Bistro Mémoire exists now. The theme too, I think, yes. The theme too is about raising awareness. This second group of initiative of project intend to create networking between professional providers, service providers, and the civil society partners. Most of them aim to make people aware of dementia through a wide range of actions such as conferences and public events and so on. This is the case of the project run by Confetti in Kampf in Germany. This project consists in organizing events and activities to bring together people with and without dementia in their local community through music, visual arts, theater, and humor. It's all. No. Okay, we stop. Confetti in Kopf creates meeting spaces where people connect and gain new perspectives through social contact and information, and I may add, fun. Their perspective would be for the future to establish a music and art studio in order to encourage people with and without dementia of all ages and all backgrounds to experience the fun of creating and gain self-esteem. The second example I will mention is from Cyprus. It's from the Ske Symplegmatos organization, and it is called Act and React for Dementia. This initiative takes place in a rural area of 12 villages. Its idea is to change public attitudes and practices in the community. They have involved the people of services such as shops, pharmacy, cafes, restaurants, in order to promote understanding and solidarity between the inhabitants. Now I'm going to talk about the third theme. I don't dare to go through it. No. Yeah? Okay. The third theme, which is developing leadership in people with dementia. Their commitment in the process is a major challenge. Some projects offer an other role to the people as volunteers for the younger of them or as ambassador, champions, or consultants in matter of public dementia policy. Let's go to Austria for the first example for the Action Demens project in Vorarlberg called Campaign Dementia. Here they have set up conditions for, that enable people with dementia to participate in the public and social life in Vorarlberg. They work to create a friendlier environment for the people and their families. Individual and groups are committees, neighborhood bus drivers, bank employees, schools. 23 model communities have joined the Action Demens Austria group. The action goes through press relations, conferences, brochures, events, movies, art exhibition. The second example comes from the UK, and it's from Educate, and it's called Coming Together. The project is run by people with dementia who use their own experience to raise awareness about dementia. They give talk to business, community and faith group, health and educational establishments, and about living with dementia. They help deliver training to staff supporting people with dementia, and they act as consultants in matters of dementia policy. We must notice that Educate is one of the 37 groups in the UK which are led by people with dementia, and who are trying to influence change under the DEEP umbrella. To say a few words about the common points and approaches, I just want to underline the fact that for the project team, the challenges consist in creating the condition of a shift, of a turn from living well with dementia in the community to a friendly dementia community and being recognized as citizens. After 2 workshops with our awardees, we have observed, and it is a good thing, that there is a huge diversity of action, as you can have seen just with this 6 project. A diversity depending on the socio-economical context and on the public policies development. The projects are not necessarily very expensive, but they require citizens to be engaged from the onset, forging new alliances with partners coming from different horizons. All that means we must be aware that to be able to succeed in creative and inclusive society, a friendly community, in building strong partnerships in order to establish a global strategy at a local level, and also in giving the voice to people with dementia, a long process is needed. And finally, it requests the empowerment of people touched by dementia, as Helga said, to be main actors of the process while avoiding two figures, tragic victim or superhero. Alzheimer is more than an illness, but it is also a social construction with radical consequences. Our friends here know that well. EFID works toward changing the perception of dementia and reframing the public discourse. We intend to add to the knowledge while identifying synergies between local and regional activities, learning about successful processes, and discussing ways to transfer practice efficiently. Doing that, EFID provides a new perspective and proposes a shift of mindset to stay connected with all citizens with dementia. If you want to know more about that, you can go to the NEF website. To conclude, I would like to share with you some hopes for the future. Europe is growing older. Why the dementia challenge can help build sustainable cities. There is a strong movement to build sustainable cities and to work on what it really means. By focusing on aging, and especially on dementia, which has our major challenges, we can aim to build a city that provides structure and services to support well-being and productivity of the resident. A city that works for social inclusion of one of the most vulnerable groups. A city that promotes living well in the community for anyone. So, by thinking about our cities, we also set a framework of changes across the whole of our societies, so that we can build a society of respect and tolerance, a society of solidarity and empowerment, and a society valuable for all of us. Thank you.